Hello and welcome to the English Like a Native podcast, the listening resource for intermediate to advanced level English learners. My name is Anna and today I'm joined by Nick and we are going to be discussing something that is coming up that we celebrate every year, and that is Easter. Now, Easter for many people in the UK is a religious holiday, but like with many of the religious holidays, it has been taken over in many respects by the big commercial bodies. So in every shop, from Christmas all the way up until Easter, you'll find the shelves littered with things like chocolate eggs and Easter bonnet making crafty bits and bobs and baskets in order to do your Easter hunts. And so there's a whole range of things that happen around this holiday that can be celebrated by everyone, regardless of whether they are Catholic or Christian or mark this as a religious festival or not. So Nick and I are not religious, and we do partake in Easter festivities. So that's what we're going to dive into today. Hi, Nick. Are you excited about the Easter holidays?
I am excited, definitely.
Excited.
Yeah, excuse the pun. I love Easter. I think it's brilliant. I grew up a Catholic. Did you know?
Yes.
I went to a convent school.
Yes, with all the nuns.
With all the nuns and their rulers.
So what was Easter like when you were at school? It must have been quite an important time of the year.
It was definitely an important time of the year, and I think they did a good job in balancing the religious and chocolate elements of it. The school had quite a big green area with trees and things in, and I remember very fondly going out and searching for Easter eggs with the nuns.
Okay, so there's a few little symbols that we associate with Easter, eggs being one of them, because Easter is all about the resurrection and redemption and fresh starts and new beginnings. It also comes in spring, so it's when new life is literally all around us, with the bulbs coming up. No, the bulbs. The buds.
Yeah, the bulbs don't come up.
The bulbs go into the ground and they produce buds. So the buds are coming up. The flowers are just starting to emerge. In the fields, as you drive through the countryside, you see beautiful little lambs leaping for joy, having just been born. I mean, not just been born, but a few weeks old. And there's this sense of new and fresh everywhere. So these eggs are really the core symbol of Easter. And of course, they've been made into confectionery, and we just find chocolate eggs everywhere, don't we? But these chocolate eggs are not delivered by a huge, colourful chicken, which you would expect. These chocolate eggs are delivered mostly by another symbol of Easter, which is
The Easter Bunny.
Yes. Isn't that odd?
Yeah, I don't know the origins. I guess it's about spring and rebirth.
Well, this is where Christianity has taken some bits from other religions. There's kind of a mix of different things that have come in and merged with Christian festivals. So
Sounds like you've done your research.
I have done a little bit of research, yes, and I'm just trying to find the name of the goddess. Apparently, one of the origins is an Anglo-Saxon goddess called Istra. Istra, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. She was the goddess of spring and fertility, and she's often depicted with, or as, or with hares, which are very similar to rabbits, aren't they? They have longer feet, longer ears.
Is the Easter Bunny a rabbit or a hare?
As with everything, our entire language, everything, we've taken little bits from different places and put it all together in this big melting pot and produced a bunny that delivers chocolate eggs.
Sounds confusing to me.
Did you ever do the decorating of eggs, where you literally get an egg from a chicken and blow out the insides through tiny little pinholes? And so then you just have the eggshell in its perfect form, and then you'd paint it to be really, really beautiful. Did you ever do that?
I did, but I haven't thought about it for probably a decade.
So I've just reminded you.
Yeah.
So maybe we should do that with our kids this year.
Maybe. It sounds like quite a lot of effort.
No, you put a pinhole in the top and a pinhole in the bottom and you blow really hard to get the insides out. And then you paint it. I don't know why you can't just paint it as is, but maybe it's less of a risk once you've got the insides out. Letting the kids play with eggs might be a bit of a risk otherwise. So the other thing that you mentioned that we do around Easter is the big Easter hunt.
My favourite. I love an Easter egg hunt.
So how did you do Easter egg hunts when you were a child?
Well, the Easter bunny would leave lots of eggs all over the place, and then we would run around just trying to find them haphazardly, I think, which as a parent now feels like a difficult conundrum to try and solve. How do I go and hide all the eggs? How do I make sure the children can find them all? How do I make sure I remember where I put them all?
Yeah, because you don't want to get to the middle of a hot summer's day and go and plonk yourself down somewhere and realise you've sat on an old chocolate egg.
Yeah.
Now, Easter hunts for me were very different. My mum would put in a lot of effort. The Easter bunny would put in a lot of effort and create a series of clues. And these clues would give you an idea of where the next location was, where you'd find the next clue. So clue number 1 would say something like, I'm hot and dry and I get your clothes to the same state, or something along those lines, some sort of semi-cryptic, but relatively easy because I was a child, clue. And I say, oh, that must be the tumble dryer. And you go to the tumble dryer and there would be clue number 2. And you keep going along. And at some point there would be a little chocolate egg alongside another clue. And you'd go all over the house following clue after clue after clue. And then maybe by clue 8 or 9, you would discover your big egg, your prize egg that you would wolf down in one go. So I actually enjoyed that experience much more than just haphazardly running around the garden trying to find random eggs.
Yeah, I think with us it was more like open the doors, let out all the kids and just fly, my pretties. Go and find the eggs. I like your idea of doing clues. I think that's a good one.
Yeah, put your mind into action. It's a lot of effort as the Easter bunny, but I do think it's more interesting for the kids.
And you get out what you put in.
Absolutely.
So you get to enjoy the journey of the children as well.
Absolutely. So what other things are associated with Easter? I always think of daffodils. Easter is usually the time when there's lots of daffodils that you can buy at the supermarket and have daffodils around your house. And everywhere you look, they just spring up everywhere. They're quite hardy little flowers, aren't they?
Yeah, the daffodils seem like they survive year after year.
I do love a daffodil. It's just that lovely splash of yellow in the garden.
I love a tulip.
2 years ago, I planted loads and loads of daffodil bulbs into the garden in order to see them come up the following spring. But then by the autumn, you went out, dug them all up, not realising what they were, just thinking, well, I'll just get rid of these, to put some tulips in instead. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I did. I'm very sorry about that. But the tulips are delightful.
They are. The other thing that I think about with Easter is hot cross buns.
I didn't realise that hot cross buns were an Easter thing.
Is the cross on a hot cross bun related to the cross that Jesus was on?
I have absolutely no idea. But they've become so popular, you can get them any time of the year, can't you?
All year round, hot cross buns. If they weren't so bad for you, I would literally have them every single day. So you cut them in half, you stick them in the toaster or under the grill, and you make them nice and crispy and warm. And then all the kind of spices that are in them just activate and you can smell it all over the house. And then you put on a little knob of butter and let the butter melt on the hot cross bun, on the hot cross bun. And it's delightful with a cup of tea, don't you think?
It does go well with a cup of tea. Do you know, I don't think I've ever bought myself a packet of hot cross buns. And I also don't think I've ever eaten as many hot cross buns in my life as I have done since I've known you.
Well, I haven't bought any this year so far, but now I'm talking about them, I think we must at least have one hot cross bun this Easter season. So, daffodils, bunnies, chocolate eggs, hot cross buns. The other thing that I associate with Easter is the Easter bonnet competition. I was the proud winner of the Easter bonnet competition one year at my school, and it made me so happy. Did you ever do an Easter bonnet competition?
I don't even know what they are now.
Basically, you take a bonnet, which is like quite an old-fashioned word for hat, like a wide-brimmed hat, and you decorate it for Easter. So I think in the one that I won, I put a nest on top of my bonnet and filled it with chicks, and not real chicks, but pretend chicks, and painted eggs. I did the blow thing. And then I put other symbols of Easter all around the bonnet and decorated it with ribbon. And it was very fancy. So I'm not surprised that I won. But I find all that kind of crafty element to Easter really great fun. It's a nice way to get kids involved in doing something that doesn't require a screen, being crafty and decorating and things like that.
I really think Easter is a very crafty holiday, isn't it? I think Easter's about crafts.
And family.
And family. Halloween is about dressing up. And Christmas is 100% about family. It's very much
I thought you were going to say food then.
It's about food. Well, I mean, family and food are basically two sides of the same coin, right?
Yeah. So normally over the Easter holiday, the Easter weekend is usually a 4-day weekend, right? So you have the Friday off, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off. So Easter weekend is usually a time where people will travel and go away and make the most of that 4-day holiday, whether that's a staycation, or some people use that 4 days to go and take a week off without having to take too many actual days holiday from work, right? We're not going away, are we?
No, not this year. But we have our children off school, so we have to find things to go and do with them. I mean, I'm quite looking forward to this Easter holidays because it means we're going to have to spend lots of time with our children. And hopefully the weather in the UK will have finally turned and it will stop being so cold. So I'm really looking forward to bright blue skies.
Hot cross buns.
An
Easter bonnet.
And crafty activities.
And of course, chocolate eggs. Before we finish, how do you eat your Easter egg?
I like a dark chocolate Easter egg.
Do you eat it all in one sitting?
It depends how big it is, really.
I'm very much a nibbler. I like to make things last as long as possible. I used to put the chocolate in my mouth and let it melt so I could feel it all over my mouth, which now I know is terrible for my teeth. But when I was a child, I used to like to make things last as long as I possibly could.
Yeah, I tend to just kind of wolf things down, really.
Well, this year, I think we will buy chocolate eggs for the kids, but I think we'll be good apart from our hot cross buns, which I think we can go a bit crazy on. Maybe have two. two each. Okay, that was excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me on this extra special podcast all about Easter.
I feel like there should have been more Easter yolks involved.
Oh, Easter yolks, very good. I can't think of any comeback. So, listeners, I thank you for letting us tickle your eardrums. I do hope you enjoy your Easter holiday if you celebrate, and if not, have a pleasant weekend. I look forward to tickling your eardrums again very soon. Until then, take very good care and goodbye.